Hey guys, Icy Cat here. Today we're going to break down the information for you regarding everything on Finca and Lion that was revealed today during the Rainbow Six Invitational. If you didn't have a chance to check it out, we're going to put all of the details into one spot for you here. We're going to talk about everything that the operators can do, as well as how they interact with each other, their loadouts, as well as in-game footage of them being used and how they work. So the two new operators were revealed today. We got to look at their trailer just last week, and this is example footage of that. However, some of the things they were talking about that go into this is the fact that they want this season for both new operators to have what's called global abilities. This is a focus on the operator being able to activate something that benefits the entire team all at once. So both of these operators are going to have this going for them. The first one we're going to take a look at is Finca. Now, we talked about her a little bit the other day when we got a look at what her loadout was. She is a 2-speed, 2-armor character. She has a loadout because she comes from Spetsnaz that's the same as them, so she will have the same shotgun for the Saiga 12 that both Tachanka and Kapkan have. She will also have the LMG that Fuse uses, so that would be the 6P41, as well as both the PMM and GSH-18 handguns. Her primary weapon that's going to be different, however, is going to be the Spear 308. This is a bullpup configured 308 assault rifle. Also, because she is a Russian operator with origins in the Spetsnaz unit, she will have access to the special Russian sights. So this would be like the ACOG and Reflex and whatever that the other Russian operators use that look different from any of the other ones in the game. She will have those same sight loadouts. As mentioned before, her new ability is going to be a global ability. So this is like, it's a team buff. And essentially the way it works is that all of the Rainbow operators have gotten these nanites injected into their bloodstream. So when she's on your team, she can activate that. When she turns this on, this works for everybody all at once. It's not just for her. The entire team gets this buff simultaneously. So what it's going to do is give you a 20 hit point health buff. You're also going to see a significant recoil reduction as well as faster reload times. Now, initially they had looked at creating an operator speed boost, but they've since decided to dial that back and not really implement that because there are some concerns about making operators like Ash just have way too much speed. So the originally planned speed buff has been removed, and instead of that, they've got a faster reload, significantly reduced recoil control, and a health buff. This entire thing lasts for about 20 seconds. Now, while the overall speed increase has been removed, you are able to move through barbed wire more quickly than you could before. That's the only movement speed increase that you wind up getting. Another important thing this does is if you have anybody on your team that is downed, it will immediately revive them. So it activates the nanites in their bloodstream and causes them to immediately get up wherever they might be on the map when this is being used. It does seem like they need to be already downed when you activate it, whereas if they go down while it's in use, that won't count. It has to be they're downed first and then you activate it to respond to that. When it's in effect, you'll get this blue icon down in the bottom of the screen there that will let you know as kind of like an on-screen countdown timer so that when that runs out, you'll be aware. And just like when you get revived or healed by Doc, you get those like blue edges on your screen, you'll also see that in use here whenever it's in effect. So as soon as Finca activates the ability, if you're on the team with her, you'll immediately be aware that you've got this bonus going on. There's also a couple of other extra bonuses that you'll get when this ability is active. You'll get a greater resistance to concussion mines. So when you step through an Ela concussion mine, it will still give you that effect, but it will wear off more quickly. You also get a resistance to all flashbangs, so you won't have to necessarily worry so much about having a friendly flashbang blind you for a few seconds. It will still have an effect. It's not a complete immunity to flashbangs, but it grants you a resistance to them. So overall, this sounds like a very strong operator for creating pushes on the defending team. However, there are some significant ways to counteract this. The first is going to be that because this is an adrenaline boost, it actually causes your heartbeat to go faster and you have like a stronger heartbeat. So when it's active, Pulse actually gets a longer detection range than he would have without it. So if, you're on the edge of that range where Pulse wouldn't be able to see you and then this kicks in, he will suddenly be able to see you at a longer range than he could before. Additionally, this increases your respiration rate. As such, when you go through smokes, gas grenades, the effects will hit you a lot harder and it will actually cause 30 hit points of damage for every time it causes that damage to occur. So that's going to cause you to take a lot more damage a lot more quickly while this effect is in operation. Additionally, if you step on any of Legion's mines, that will remove the effect instantaneously. So even if you turn this ability on and then 1 second later you step on one of his mines, it will instantly remove the effect. The toxins that are located inside of those mines will disable the nanite stream. You're free to try again later on in the round, but at least for that usage, it's gone. Another thing that will disable the effect is the use of Echo's yokai drone. So if you get hit by that blast on the stun effect, it's going to remove that nanite boost immediately. So while there's lots of good things to using Finca, there's also lots of situational bad things that come back with it as kind of a counteractive force. Now let's talk about Lion. He's also a 2-speed, 2-armor character. He has, because he's from the GIGN unit, a lot of the same loadout that they have. He'll have Twitch's 417 DMR. He will also have the SG CQB shotgun, as well as the P9 handgun and the LP 586 revolver. The unique weapon that he brings to the table that's new is a Vector 308. Because this is chambered in a larger caliber 308 round, it works more like a light machine gun than a submachine gun. So it's going to have a way slower rate of fire than Mira's Vector, and it's going to have a lot more recoil to go with it. Lion's special ability is this aerial drone that goes up at the beginning of the round. It is completely indestructible. The defenders cannot shoot it down out of the sky to remove it, so it's when he's in play, it's up there. He gets 3 uses of this drone throughout the round, and what it does is any enemies that are moving are tagged. They get this red outline around them as well as icons over their head. The enemies are tracked in real time, however they are notified that they're being tracked, similar to how you get a heads up when Jackal is tracking you. So the way it works is that there's a 3-second warning, and you get this on both teams. This will allow the friendly allies on your team to be able to get ready to look for those outlines as soon as they pop up, and this will also give the defenders a heads up that it might be in their best interest to stop moving. Then when that 3-second countdown is over, there is a 4-second active use window. During that time, any movement will cause them to be highlighted. Again, if you are standing still, it won't highlight you. You can do other movement types that don't involve your feet to physically be moving. So you can aim down sights, you can actually rotate and that doesn't count against you. You can even change stance and that doesn't count against you. But if you actually walk forward or backward, strafe side to side, anything like that, that will cause you to become outlined for that 4-second window. Now there is a 10-second cooldown that occurs between uses of this, so that doesn't allow you to spam it constantly. This does allow Lion to be a great anti-roaming operator. It really will allow him to see where enemies are moving around and kind of flush out their positions. It also gives him great strength on denying retakes of objective sites once captured. Whether that diffuser is planted or you're securing the area, when those enemies have to come back in and they have to move forward to take in that objective, activating that ability will allow him to see what angles the defenders are trying to come in from when they do that retake. Lion doesn't have a lot of counters, however, if you're standing within the radius of a mute jammer, it will block the track, and as long as you're within that radius, you can move around all you want and it won't cause you to get that outline. Both Lion and Finca are attackers on the same CTU, so they did say that later on in the year there will be a double defender loadout coming, and right now they're just trying something new with doing 2 attackers at once. Now this Monday we'll be getting the patch notes, and I'll be bringing all of that information to you as soon as it launches, letting you know about all the other changes that we'll be getting, and that is also the same time where the technical test server will be starting. The new operators will be available starting March 6th. That's for anybody with the season pass. And then, of course, you have to have that 7-day waiting period if you don't have the season pass. So then that will be available to all people on March 13th. But of course, if you do have access to that test server, then you will be getting a chance to get some hands-on time with them even before the March 6th date begins. So there you go, a complete breakdown of the 2 new operators and what we can expect to see. What do you guys think? Are these some exciting new operators with their global abilities that affects the entire team at once? How do you think that these are going to change the meta of the game? Let me know down in the comments below, or you can share with me over at IcyCat25 on either Facebook or Twitter. We also have lots more of exciting information. Tomorrow we are going to be getting a look at the Outbreak mode and everything that goes into that. So make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Click that notification icon so you're alerted as soon as I make new info available. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.